Hello everyone. Two updates about my Tindie store. I'll be putting it in vacation mode on December 1st, which means if you want to buy something from me, you need to buy it in the next 2 weeks because I will be closing from December on because last year shipping was an absolute nightmare in December and I just have no interest in participating in that mess this year. And then the second one is a difficult decision I've made, but I'm going to close down the hardware selling side of what I do. Um, so I don't know if I'll reopen the Tindie store after December 1st. The only reason I've any doubt about it is I do have a lot of stock here that I might package up and make available in February for a month or two or something, but I'm definitely closing down the business within the first few months of next year. Um, yeah. So I started doing Tindie maybe I think 4 years ago, and I never intended it for it to become a big thing for me. I listed the power blockers and they sold way better than I ever thought they might, even. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And within that time, I've sold about 2,000 things on Tindie, which is crazy. And like one of the reasons it's so difficult to decide to wind it up is that I've spent a huge amount of time on Tindie. I've invested like a lot of effort in designing products and writing documentation for them and making examples available and things like that. And even stuff kind of behind the scenes, like my postal service doesn't have an API, so I wrote an automation script to fill in your address details into their website so I didn't make a mistake copying and pasting stuff. And yeah, that makes it hard to let it go or whatever, but having spent time on something is not a good reason to continue spending time on something if you don't want to do it anymore. And it's not that I don't really want to do it, it's that I don't have time to do it. And uh, that lack of time has really been stressing me out. Um, I would say lately, but realistically, it's been for at least a year or two. I've been finding it really difficult to kind of manage everything I need to do in terms of like what I need to do around the house, what I need to do with my kids and with my wife, and then on top of that, you know, what I need to do for like my YouTube stuff, and then what I do actually need to do for Tindie stuff. Um, I've found that really stressful, and even at times I've like suffered from anxiety issues around this, which I know will probably sound stupid to a lot of you, because in the grand scheme of things, these are the most unimportant problems in the world, but I can't, I don't know, I can't say anything why or how I feel that way, but that's just the way it is. Um, yeah, like say for example, for the last few weeks or whatever, we've been doing work moving in here. This is my new office. It might look visually the same in terms of the layout, but I'm actually in a different room than when you last seen me. And yeah, it's been a huge amount of time getting this place ready, and it's not even ready yet. Um, and during that time, I have not been able to make videos. And just before we started this process of moving in here, I released the Trinity, and the Trinity has been dying for content to be released to, make people aware of it. And I just have not had time to do it whatsoever, and that was really stressing me out. And it shouldn't stress me out. Like, I should make videos when I want to make videos about whatever I want to make videos about. I don't rely on income from videos for anything, which is great. I'm super lucky that my job is it's really good, and I don't require the money from YouTube side of things. Uh, I don't rely on it. So like I really should be making videos on whatever I want, whenever I want, when I'm free to do it. But that, that thing has been weighing in the back of my mind for the last 6 weeks of, you need to release that video. What if you did the video on this? What if you did the video on that? I even have some projects that are basically ready to go. The Spotify NFC project is one of my best projects, but that comes with its own sort of worry that because I think it's one of my best projects ever, I don't want to rush making a video on it. I want to do it properly and make sure I make the video as good as it can be. And that's kind of had its own stress, because even if I had a few hours, do I rush making something, or do I come back to, but again, completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things. So I'm not sure what causes as much stress as it does, but there you go. One of the strange things that is kind of a big disappointment for me with this, is stuff like the Trinity. The Trinity is open source, so people can, make their own versions of the Trinity, no problem. But the Trinity uses 0402 components, which, a lot of people will not be able to assemble, or even the cost of buying the components to make a single run or whatever is going to be quite expensive. So yeah, I was really excited about the projects people would make with the Trinity, and I think some people will have bought the Trinity and will make some interesting projects with it. But like going forward, when I released that Spotify NFC video, like my original plan with it was, hey, if you want to build this, buy the Trinity, and I'll even include a web flash link that you don't even need to know how to code. Just plug your Trinity in and click that button on the web page, and it'll, go for you. And that is not going to be an option for people anymore. So yeah, like nearly all of my products or projects were designed around a problem I had, and I was trying to make that problem easier for me. And I think that worked out well in terms of I had the problem, so other people are going to have the same problem. Yeah, so I'll have to see what I'm going to do with that going forward. For now, the Trinity will be available through all the wholesalers currently. I just won't be ordering more. And like say for my other products, TH3D will continue to sell the power blocker. That won't be stopping actually. I'll be continuing to supply power blockers to wholesalers if they want them. And then Colin Hickey has a good selection of my stuff on his store too, if you're interested in those things. And we'll see what happens going forward. Yeah, I would like to maybe make the stuff available to people if they want them. A good selection of my stuff is open source at the moment. I may open source the rest of it. I don't know. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, but yeah. Okay, so I've successfully rambled on for 9.5 minutes. I have shot this a couple of times because I've rambled on a good couple of times about stuff. So I'm not 100% sure what's in this one. I guess I will when I've edited it, but yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's bought stuff from me in the past. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, I am excited to kind of move on to the next chapter of getting back, making projects, and making videos that, you know, I want to make without the angle of trying to sell things as well. Like, I've definitely held off on some projects that I wanted to do because I was like, oh, if I make a product for that, you know, I can make that project simpler for people and bring it forward. Like, one thing that's been on my mind for years is like an introduction to, you know, DIY IoT, like, is in literally a beginner's Arduino course, but with the ESP A266 or ESP32. And I've kind of always had it in my mind of, oh, I could like organize a starter kit or something, and, you know, for people who want to do that course, they could buy the stuff themselves or they could buy the kit from me, and they'd have everything ready to go. And like, even though it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, you know, the amount of work to get to that point of making the video was always a complete barrier for me to actually make it. So yeah, hopefully I'll kind of be free to do whatever I want to do, and hopefully I'll be able to manage my time a bit better. Yeah, so thanks everybody for watching. As always, a huge thanks to my GitHub sponsors who have put up with me for not producing as much stuff as I should for way too long. I don't know if I can express how thankful I am that people would part with hard-earned money for basically no reason. So yeah, huge thanks to you guys and everybody who watches and comments. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.